name's Hayley. I'm going to be your counsellor for this session. What was your name?
Georgia.
Okay, perfect. And what brings you into counselling sessions today?
I've definitely been struggling with maintaining a good uni and work-life balance at the moment.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been impacting my mental health quite a bit.
Yep. Do you want to elaborate on that perhaps?
So with work, I have recently quit my original job for 4 years, and I've been finishing my tenure there whilst also working at another Kempro.
Yeah.
And with uni, I've been quite behind on course content, and I have probably 4 courses that I'm doing in my degree at the moment, as well as assignments with end of try coming up.
Yeah, so if I'm correct, being behind in uni a little bit while also just finishing this 4-year job that you've had, that'd be a lot of stress, especially trying to maintain balance between work and uni at the moment.
Yeah.
And how have you been finding your workload at this new position that
well, because I've been finishing up with this store, I've got quite a lot of work that I've been doing.
Yep.
I currently work 6 days a week open to close at both locations.
Wow, that'd be really stressful trying to balance that with uni at the moment. How do you find that you are dealing with that?
Not very well. So every time that I come home from work, I'm super exhausted from that day, and I find that I've just been struggling with focusing on uni, and whatever I do with uni, I'm not able to retain, and it's just been playing on me mentally, especially with my sleep.
Yeah, so I noticed earlier you said that you're exhausted every time you come back from work.
Yeah.
How has your sleep been lately?
Pretty bad. Just with how much uni I've been doing, just been keeping me up a bit, and it's definitely been showing in both my uni and my work.
Yeah, so if I'm correct, because you aren't getting enough sleep at night, because you're having those anxieties from uni all the time, has that been showing up in your work performance?
It has. Just little errors I've been doing in work. It's just I have to keep following that up each day, and it's mentally fatiguing as well as thinking about uni.
And even though you are having stresses with both these places at the moment with uni and work, do you have any aspects where it's enjoyment for you? Like, do you find yourself to find happy moments during work and uni?
Uni I enjoy, so I just wish I had more time to focus on it.
Yeah.
Work at the moment hasn't been too great, only because of the load, as well as just customer-based interactions, really.
Yeah, and because you're stressing out with both of these, like work and uni, do you have any coping mechanisms that you're implementing at the moment?
Not so much. I've been trying to still incorporate downtime, whether that's talking to my roommates or just watching something before I go to bed. But it is filled with the guilt of not doing my uni.
Yeah, and because you are working pretty much nearly full-time and you're also doing full-time uni, would you say that you don't really have not a lot of time to just relax?
Yeah, I have been finding that.
Yeah, and what do you like doing in your spare time when you're not doing work or uni?
In my spare time, I definitely do like catching up with my friends, the ones outside of the house, definitely.
Yeah. As
well as just going out on benches, taking my car out, just doing my hobbies that I haven't been able to do.
Yeah, and before when you said that you quit this 4-year job that you were in at the chemist, has that affected you financially at all?
I am maintaining my shifts due to finances. I don't actually get paid a lot for the responsibilities that I'm given in my job. So I find that I have to work more shifts to just pay bills and rent and all of that, which is at detriment to my uni.
Yeah, so if I'm correct, because you're having to pick up these shifts to cover bills and that, it's causing you a lot of stress and maybe even a bit of frustration that work's not really helping you in regards to uni. They're not really respecting that you need that time to really put your head into study. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And would you say there's any other external factors apart from work and uni that have influenced your well-being?
Home life has been relatively good at the moment. I have been trying to boost my GP score in uni, mainly due to the fact that my grades have dropped quite significantly ever since I had an accident in January, which is something that I'm still trying to build up on.
Do you want to elaborate maybe on how that accident affected your well-being?
Well, I found that in January I'd completely shattered my foot and had to relearn to walk over the past 3 months. Still mentally capable, but I found with the lack of work and the money that I was given already, I was just eating away at my savings. And with uni, they wouldn't actually allow me into the labs because I was a liability, which definitely impacted my courses, especially considering that my end of tri exams for that trimester, I ended up failing because there was large lab components.
Oh wow. So it seems like that event that happened in January where you had an injury to your foot really was detrimental to your uni studies. And it seems like that would have just been kind of like a domino effect, that it's influenced your uni studies, which then also would have affected your work because you wouldn't have been able to work during then, would you?
No, definitely not.
No. And so then that, if I'm understanding correctly, that would have affected you financially with bills. Do you live out of home or do you live with parents?
I do live out of home. I live with a few friends.
Yeah, so having that pause with your job that you had at the time would have really affected you financially, is that right? Yeah. And would you say that was one of the biggest stresses when that happened?
Definitely was, and I'd still say it is a stressor, considering that my GPA had dropped by 2 because of that little accident. So now not only am I trying to pass my classes, but get higher marks to be able to boost myself up so my degree doesn't go to waste.
Yeah, that sounds like it'd be a terrible thing to go through. I mean, you said you had to learn to walk again, so having that break away from doing what you enjoy at uni would have really been hard on your emotional well-being.
Definitely.
And then also financially, having to pay bills because you live out of home. Did that incident ever affect your household relationships, like the people you live with?
It did a little bit. Some roommates were more understanding than others. The ones that weren't did try and make it a bit more difficult for me out of spite. But I mean, what can you do about that?
And that sounds like a frustrating thing to go through. Going through an accident like that and then being left like incapable of a couple things, having those, you know, people in the household that won't help you out as much definitely would have affected your mental state and your happiness. So apart from that incident, have you been finding that you've been able to keep up more with uni now that you've quit this first job, or are you still trying to catch up a little bit?
I'm still working in that first job, so I haven't quite hit that lull yet where I can catch up. But at the moment, it's just been extreme after extreme. Hopefully, once my tenure is finished with that original job, I'll have more time.
And just what you were saying earlier with when you come home, you have a little bit of downtime. Would you say hanging out with like your household roommates or people outside of your household, would that be a positive influence on your well-being, would you say?
Definitely has been. Definitely helps with me winding down a bit. But other than that, it's the only kind of wind down that I get.
Yeah. And would you, how do you think you would like to get more downtime? Do you think there'd be anything that would allow you to have more time to yourself?
Once I minimize my shift work, that'll definitely help, because I'll be able to get on top of uni quicker, more easily, and then prioritize some time for myself throughout the week.
Yeah, so from what I'm understanding, obviously you've had a lot of incidents in the past maybe year that have really caused a detriment to your mental health, like that accident at the start of the year. You were saying that it affected your ability to walk, and having that reflect to your work, because you could work for a while and then you didn't have maybe the financial stability that you were comfortable with. Has all of that kind of come together now to like create this really big cause of stress for you?
Yeah, it definitely has. It all has impacted me up until this point, and I'm definitely feeling the stresses of them all right now.
Yeah. Well, that's totally understandable to feel big emotions, and it's honestly really resilient of you that you're still able to push through this uni work, because I can tell that you're really enjoying it, and that is it a big goal for you in the future to be able to graduate?
Definitely, especially because I want to translate my degree into Doctor of Medicine.
Yeah.
That is my end goal. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like even though you've had all these things happen to you, that you are like doing very well with what you can at the moment, and this persistence with this new job, it's really resilient of you, and I'm honestly really proud that you're able to overcome these barriers and push through. Unfortunately, we do have limited time, so we only have a couple minutes left, but I just want to be correct in saying that financial issues and this lack of sleep that you're getting at the moment with being behind in uni, would I be correct by saying those are probably your biggest issues at the moment?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so now that we've gone that, for future counselling sessions, what would you want to work towards, or perhaps what would be your goal in achieving by talking to me in the future?
I would like to achieve ways that I can wind down on my own accord. Definitely help improve my sleep so that I can work better, and hopefully I'll feel a bit more rejuvenated after work, which would translate into my studies.
Yep, so just so that we're on the same page, for future sessions you want to work on finding ways to still find fulfillment in life away from work and uni at the moment, still focusing on those, but more trying to get some wind down time, maybe some more time with your friends and your household roommates. Is that correct?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, perfect. Well, I'm definitely open to working on those in the future, and I'm really proud that you were able to overcome barriers today and talk to me. It's very resilient of you, and I will see you next time.